Welcome to this backbending yoga class. Backbending is all about opening the front of the body while strengthening the back of the body. The strength in the back of your body is actually forming part of your core. This will help you build up the strength in your lower back to help prevent injury. We're going to start this class sitting on our shins, so untuck your toes to sit onto the tops of your feet. Knees to be about hip distance apart. Interlace your hands, turn them to face forwards, and you press your palms away from you. Push your spine out behind you and pull your chin to your chest. Use a breath in to send the hands to the sky as you lift and lengthen the sides of the body. And as you exhale, release your hands behind your back, interlace them into a fist, and use an inhale to draw the fist to the floor, the chest to the sky, and pausing here with your shoulder blades squeezing together, the front of the body feeling nice and open, and take some deep breaths all the way down into your belly. One more, breathing in. And then breathing out to uncurl and allow yourself to come forwards. Now you may want to use a block for this next one depending on how your body is feeling. So our hand is going to place next to our right foot either on the floor or onto the block. Use an inhale for your bum to lift away from your heels. Your left arm sweeps across and overhead as your chest turns to face the sky. Use a breath out to return all the way back to where you came from and switching sides, left hand down next to left foot. Inhale, hips push forwards and up as the chest opens to the sky. Breathing out to return to the side. You can make the block a little higher if you need. Breathing in, hips forwards and up, open through the chest. Breathing out, hips come back down. Using the inhale, sweeping the arm up and over, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And breathing out. Good. One more on each side. Breathing in, squeeze your glutes, all the muscles along the back line of the body and the leg. Breathing out to return down. Last one. Breathing in, opening into the front of the body. Push your hips forwards. And breathing out to come all the way back down onto your shins. Hands out onto the mat in front of us and into tabletop. Think of pulling your belly up towards your spine to engage your core first. With your breath in, the ribs dip to the mat, the chest lifts as you look forwards. And as you exhale, rounding the spine, chin to the chest and the tailbone tucks between the legs. Again, breathing in and breathing out. Great, one more of each here, breathing in and breathing out. Great, coming back to a neutral tabletop, let your knees just step slightly back away from your wrists. Tuck your toes behind you, lift your knees, lift your hips, and coming into downward facing dog, where you can give your legs a little pedal out if you want to, bending one knee deeply so that the other leg can straighten out a little, giving those hamstrings a little extra stretch. A focus on keeping the shoulders nice and open, so a firm push into the hands as you send your chest back towards your legs. And then let your legs become still, the knees to be lightly bent. Inhale, sending your right leg to the sky for a three-legged dog. Exhale, drawing that foot forwards under the body, knee to chest, keep it high against your body as you then place it between your hands at the top of the mat. Lift your chest, look forwards, press away through your back heel into this low lunge, nice and straight and strong through your back leg. Using an exhale, send it straight back where it came from into your down dog. Straight to the left side, inhale, reach the leg up and back, toes towards the sky. Exhale, knee under the body, squish your thigh close to your belly to see if you can place the foot between the hands. If it doesn't quite make it, just pick it up and put it between your hands. Leaving your fingertips to the mat, lift your chest, look forwards, press away through your back heel and find a nice long line from the crown of the head to your back heel. As you exhale, return the foot back and send your hips into the sky, down dog. Breathing in and breathing out. With your next breath in, look forwards towards your hands, and as you breathe out, walk your feet to the top of the mat, compressing the torso towards the thighs or the thighs towards the torso until your feet are at the top of the mat where you can dangle through the head. From there, taking your hands to your waist, keeping your knees bent and your chin pinned to your chest, very slowly allow yourself to unravel as you roll up to stand. Keeping your belly pulled in and the chin stays down the entire time, until you stack your way up, all the way up tall, and then finally allowing the chin to lift as you find yourself at the top of the mat, just shuffling your feet a little close together. We'll do one round of our sun salute C. So breathing in, arms to the sky as you gaze up towards them. Breathing out to forward fold, hands to the floor, bend the knees so that you can touch down, dangle through the head. Inhale, hands to your shins, chest lengthens forwards, thighs press out backwards. Exhale, hands to the floor, either side of your front foot, right foot steps back, lower down onto the knee, keep the back toes tucked under, front knee on top of front ankle. Breathing in, lift your chest and arms, gaze to the sky and drive your hips forwards and down, squeeze through your right glutes. Breathing out, hands come to the mat, foot steps back, plank pose, heels press out behind you, breathe in. As you exhale, drop your knees to the mat, keep your sit bones high in the sky, your chest comes to your thumbs, your chin looks forwards as you squeeze your elbows in. On the inhale, ripple your body down onto your belly, let your chest float, even float the hands as well into baby cobra. And then exhale, hands and knees down, roll your way back, hips into the sky and into down dog. With your inhale, right leg lifts to the sky, three-legged dog. As you exhale, draw the knee under the body just as before, placing it between the hands, give it help if it needs. Drop the knee to the floor behind you, breathing in. Lift through your torso and sink through your hips, low lunge. Breathing out, hands come to the floor, back foot steps in, meets the front foot. With your next inhale, halfway rise, lengthen through the torso. And as you exhale, forward fold. Use your inhale to come all the way up to stand, arms alongside the ears, keep the tailbone lightly tucked under. And your exhale to refold, hinging at the hips, hands touch the floor, bend the knees so you can get to the mat. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, hands frame the front foot, left foot steps back, lower down onto the knee, keep the toes tucked under. As you breathe in and lift, push into the ball of the back foot to drive your pelvis down. Breathing out, hands return to the floor, foot steps back and into plank. Tailbone is tucked here, breathe in. Breathing out, drop your knees, roll your sit bones to the sky, so push your bum up. Chest comes to your thumbs as you look forwards, hips are high in the sky. Inhale, coming down onto the belly, lifting through your chest, let your hands float as well, reach out through your toes. On the exhale, roll your way back, hips into the sky, into down dog. No resting here, left leg, inhale to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring it forwards, place it between the hands, drop the back knee down once you've got it there, and with your next inhale, draw the chest up, reach the arms high, and sink the hips forwards. On the exhale, hands come to the mat, back foot steps in, meet the front foot at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, and as you exhale, forward fold. On the inhale, come all the way up to stand. That's one round of our sun salute C. We're going to move on, but start the same way. Exhale, hands come back to the floor. Inhale, halfway rise. And as you exhale, hands are going down, the right foot steps back and the knee drops down to the mat. Use a breath in to lift into your low lunge. And the breath out for the hands to come back down, the foot to step into plank and press into your hands. On the exhale, knees down, sit bones to the sky, chest and chin to the mat, look forwards. As you inhale, ripple your way down onto your belly, and then just pause here for a moment. We're going to come into Locust. So zip your legs together and take your arms interlaced behind your back, palms to face one another. You can let your forehead rest down for a moment. Mine's just floating so you can hear me. But with a nice deep breath in, you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades together, pull your fist to the back of the mat, reach your thighs away from the floor and push down through your pelvis. So we're trying to keep just the pelvis and the belly down on the mat. As the legs lift out behind us, the chest floats and the shoulder blades squeeze together. Holding here and keep breathing, breathing in, breathing out. Last one, breathe in. Oh, and then let it go, breathing out, release your body down against the floor. Your right arm is going to reach out alongside your shoulder, palm faces the floor. Use your left hand to roll your body onto that side, let your head rest down onto the side of the mat. And then your left leg, your top leg, you're going to lift up and away and step it all the way out behind you, thinking of sending your foot up towards your hand. Gently press your hand down against the floor and keep your knee lifting towards the sky. Holding here, breathe in And then breathing out, undo the leg, bring yourself all the way back around towards center. Once again, take the hands behind the back, this time keeping your palms facing the sky and the arms alongside the body. Same as before, it's just a different variation of Locust. As you inhale, lift your chest, float your hands away from the floor, float your thighs away from the floor, and look forwards. The shoulder blades still draw towards each other and you push down through your pelvis. Breathing in and breathing out. One more, breathing in and then breathing out. Let yourself come down, rest your head, rest your bum for a minute, and then left arm reaches out alongside the shoulder, palm faces the floor. Use your right hand to roll yourself onto that side and your head to rest against the floor. Your top leg, your right leg, to then lift away and step behind you. Think of heading it up towards the top of the mat. So you're really opening through this front right hip here. Focusing your breath into the front of the left chest, gently pressing it down towards the floor. Great, breathe in. And then breathing out, draw yourself all the way back onto your belly, hands underneath your chest, and roll your way back into downward facing dog. So from here with your right leg, as you inhale, send it to the sky for three-legged dog. Then as we scorpion tail the leg, turn the pelvis open towards the right, bend that knee in the sky and think of your heel coming in towards your left bum. So there's a twist through the torso, the hip is opening as the knee lifts to the sky. Breathe in, keep lifting. And then as you breathe out, draw that leg under your body and aim that right knee towards your right wrist, placing it down just a little bit wider than the wrist so it's out towards the edge of your mat. Back leg rests to the mat, and as you walk it away from you, let your hands rest onto the floor in front of you. So we're doing a pigeon, but we're going to stay upright here. We're not going to fold as you might be used to. Trying to keep thinking of your chest staying stacked on top of your hips, so you're squeezing the muscles around your lower spine to keep your body upright. Making sure we feel a stretch in the outer right hip and not into the knee, backing out of the stretch a little if the knee feels under pressure. Broaden through the chest, breathe in, lift. Breathing out. One more here, breathe in. And breathing out. Great. Then we're going to let our bum sit off towards the right side of the mat so the left leg can sweep out to the front. Left leg is reaching forwards and the sole of the right foot faces the inner thigh. Right hand steps onto the floor behind you. As you breathe in, lift your hips off of the mat, reach through your left toes and send your left arm either to the sky or all the way up and overhead. Your gaze can be down towards the mat or up towards your fingertips, and think of lengthening through that left side as you lift your bum away from the mat. Holding here, breathe in and breathe out. One more, breathe in. And then very slowly as you breathe out, bring your bum back to where it came from. Both feet to come onto the mat in front of you with bent knees, and your hands to step just behind your hips with your fingertips pointing forwards. As you breathe in, your bum is going to lift from the mat into a reverse tabletop. So push your hips to the sky. You can leave your chin on your chest, or you can drop your chest back if you're comfortable to, but think of lifting your chest up between the heads of your shoulders and pushing your bum up towards the sky as well. Holding, press into the hands, press into the whole sole of both of your feet. Take a deep breath in. And then as you breathe out, your bum comes back to the mat. Cross your feet in front of you. See if you can roll over your feet, hands to the mat, so you can step back into downward facing dog. So you're going to come to repeat that little sequence on the left side. So to begin with, inhale, left leg reaches to the sky for a three-legged dog where the hip stays closed. As you exhale, open the hip, turn the pelvis to face the left. The knee in the sky bends. Think of heel pulling in towards your bum as you twist the hips to the left side. Keep lifting, breathe in. And then as you exhale with control, draw that knee under the body. Aim it just to just behind and just outside your left wrist. The shin is diagonal across the mat. Walk that back leg away from you, but keep your pelvis neutral. So try not to sit to the left or the right side. Keep everything pointing forwards. Hands to rest onto the mat to keep your chest lifted, and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Squeeze the muscles around the lower back. Doesn't matter what this shape looks like for you. Your hands might need to be further away from your front knee, but that's all right. You're still doing the same actions with the muscles in the back of the body. Take a nice deep breath in, lift your chest. And breathing out. And then same again, breathe in. And breathe out. Good, so this time sit towards the left side of your mat so that the right leg, the back leg, sweeps to the front and the sole of the left foot comes to match the inner thigh of the right. Left hand behind you with a deep breath in. Lift your bum away from the mat, reach through your right toes, push down through that left knee to open through that right side of the body, lifting the chest to the sky, either gazing up and over or you can stay gazing down towards the mat. Lengthening that right side as you breathe in. And breathing out. One more, breathing in. And breathing out, gently bringing your bum back to the floor and your knees to be bent, feet onto the floor, onto the mat in front of you. This time we're going to roll down onto our spine, so arms reach forwards and slowly uncurling to come all the way down until the whole spine is down against the mat. Let your feet step in a little closer towards your bums. You can just about reach your heels with your fingertips alongside your body. Feet are hip distance apart and pointing forwards. Push down through the big toe side of your foot so that your feet don't start to roll outwards. From there, breathing in, lift your hips away from the mat up towards the sky, and then with the space you've created underneath you, interlace your hands together and then shuffle your shoulder blades together so you find lift through the entire torso. As you push into the feet and the arms and the shoulders, you're thinking of the hips lifting up, but also of the chest coming back towards the chin. So bridge pose, knees stay lightly squeezing in towards each other, making sure the legs aren't flaring away from one another. And think of your chest coming to make contact with your chin. Breathing in, breathing out. And then one more, breathe in. And then breathing out, undo the hands, slowly roll your way all the way back down till the spine touches the mat. You're welcome to do the same posture again into bridge pose if you don't want to practice your wheel. Otherwise, feet are doing the same thing, hip distance apart, grounding down into the inner arch of the foot. Hands go above the shoulders, fingertips pointing towards the shoulders. Starting in the same way, push down into the feet, let your bum lift away from the mat, and then strong into the arms, push down. Think of your chest lifting towards the sky, and you can drop your head back. You can then choose to take small steps in with perhaps the feet. It's a really good idea if you're working into your shoulder flexibility to take those steps in with your hands instead. Coming up onto the balls of the feet is a personal preference, but keep thinking of sending your weight towards your wrists as your hips push up towards the sky. As you breathe in, focus your breath into the deep part of the belly, expand. And breathing out. Make sure you reserve enough energy to come back down. So before we come down, we tuck the chin to the chest, slowly bending the elbows. Let the shoulders find the mat, and then you can step your feet away from you so that your hips can find the floor as well. Let yourself just take a moment to feel yourself against the mat, and then gently encouraging the knees towards your chest. Wheel is a big back bend, so don't feel the need to really compress your legs here. Just a very soft encouragement of the thighs towards the belly to counterbalance, counteract that back bend. And then let those knees gently flop over to the left side. Your right arm to reach out in the opposite direction, palm to the sky, and you can turn your gaze towards that hand if you wish. Keep those deep breaths focusing all the way down to the very bottom of the lungs. And softly and slowly breathing out. And then legs roll back to the center and all the way over to the right. Nice and heavy on one side. Arm reaches out in the other. It's always nice to end your back bend practice with some twists. Just feel like you're wringing out a flannel. You're resetting, bringing everything back to neutral. Slowing the breath, calming the mind. And then rolling yourself back onto your back. Letting your arms rest alongside you, your legs to release out onto the mat. Allow the limbs to feel nice and floppy. The feet are likely to fall away from each other. The fingers to lightly curl in towards the palms. Closing the eyes, And keeping your focus on the breath, but not having too much control here, not trying to make it be anything it's not. Let it return back to a more natural pace, more natural depth, as you allow your whole body to let go. And then taking a deep breath in, allowing some energy back into the body, maybe finding some movements in your limbs with a stretch or a wriggle. And then your knees to come in towards the chest, to make a small little ball. And then ever so softly rolling your way up into a seated position. Your hands can then come together in front of your chest. Allow your chin to bow down to close your practice here. Thanks for watching and practicing along with me today. Hopefully you realise that backbending is a lot about strength in the lower back and not just flexibility. If you'd like some other beginner-friendly yoga flows, you can watch this playlist here, or you can see my latest video at this link. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you'd like to know when my next class is out.